To better understand some aspects of MCP, we are going to start to implement our own CLI-based chatbot. This is going to give us a better idea of how clients and servers actually work together. In this video, I want to do a little bit of project setup and just help you understand exactly what we're going to make. I've got a lot of product description over here of what we're going to build. We're going to go through all this over time. For right now, I just want you to get a high level understanding. So as I mentioned, it's going to be a CLI-based chatbot. We're going to allow users to work with a collection of documents. These are going to be fake documents. They're just going to be stored in memory. We're going to build out a small MCP client that is going to connect to our own custom MCP server. For right now, this server is going to have two tools implemented inside of it. One tool to read the contents of a document, and one tool to update the contents of a document. Now again, these documents are here on the right-hand side. They're all fake, so they are going to be persisted only in memory. That's it. Now, before we go any further, there is a very important note, something I really want you to understand around this entire process. And that is that on a normal project, typically we would be implementing either a client or an MCP server. So on a real project, we might be authoring just an MCP server to distribute to the world and allow developers to access some service that we have built up. Alternatively, we might be building a project where we make only a MCP client. And the intent here would be that we would be connecting to some outside MCP servers that have already been implemented by some other engineers. So in this project, we are making both a client and a server. And we're just doing that in one project so you get a better understanding of how this stuff actually works together. All right, now that we have this disclaimer out of the way, let's go through just a little bit of setup. Attached to this video, you should find a file named cliproject.zip. Inside there is some starter code for our project. Make sure you download that zip file, extract it, and then open up your code editor inside of that project directory. Just to save a little bit of time, I have already done so. So I've already got my code editor open inside of that small project. Inside this project, I would encourage you to take a look at the readme.md file. Inside here, I've placed some setup directions. So it's going to walk you through the process of making sure you put your API key into the .env file inside this project. And it's also going to walk you through the process of installing dependencies, either with UV or without UV. Once you have gone through all this setup, you can then run the starter project right away. To do so, inside of your terminal, make sure that you are inside of your project directory. So I called my project MCP, and inside there, I've got all my different project files and folders. To run the project, we will run uv run main.py if you're making use of UV. If you are not making use of UV, then it will be just python main.py. Now I'm making use of UV, so I'm going to do a uv run main.py. And then when I run that, I should see a chat prompt appear. And if I ask what's 1 + 1, I should see a response rather quickly. That is it for our setup. So now we can start to focus on adding in some new features to this application.